All right, here we go. Welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt, Knost, and Drew Stoltz. Sleaze, I'm starting to think we just copy and paste our intro because, once again, surprise, surprise, Scotty Scheffler wins at the RBC Heritage. But before we get to that, I just got to, I'm not even going to say beautiful Philadelphia. It's Philadelphia, whatever. You know, I don't like the Eagles and everything. But I just got here for an amazing trip to Pine Valley. I used ship sticks, our guys, for my clubs. They shipped up to Pine Valley. They came to my house, got them, shipped them to Pine Valley. They're already there. Flew up from Hilton Head this morning, and guess what? They lost my bags. They lost my clothes.
Surprise, surprise. The commercial airline industry blew it. Blew it once again. I'm telling you, dude, like, shipping luggage is probably also the way to go, too, because I just had, funny you say that, I had 3 buddies from down here, went up to NorCal for a trip, playing a great golf course up there, playing with a member. 3 of them go up, 1 shipped. The other 2 didn't. Get up there, get off the plane. The 2 golf bags did not make it. They played with rentals the first day at this place, while the other guy who shipped got to play with his bats. It's just, like I said, it's easier and better.
It is, man. Ship sticks is the way to go. They picked them up at my front door Thursday morning. They were confirmed, dropped off at Pine Valley Friday afternoon.
Yeah, there's no reason not to use it. So anybody out there listening, you're going on a golf trip, it's the only way to go. Use code SUBPAR if you go to shipsticks.com, or just go to shipsticks.com/subpar. You get 20% off your next shipment. Like we always say, use it once, never won't use it again. I hope your bag gets there, buddy, because you got a good trip. You got a good trip coming.
Yeah, Pine Valley. My sport coat's in it. Got to have it for dinner. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting in the room eating peanuts. It's going to suck. But anyways, we'll get to the Pine Valley trip in a little bit. Let's get to Scotty Scheffler, who, once again, I mean, this is 4 out of 5. The only one he didn't win, he finished second. He goes over to Hilton Head, flies in Tuesday night. Everybody thinks he's going to have a Masters hangover. Gets up, plays 9 holes in the Pro-Am. Actually talked with us on Gravy and the Sleaze for a little bit. Goes out there, makes a double bogey early on Thursday. It's not going to be his week. He turns it around, shoots 2 under par, and then, well, see you later. Scotty Scheffler returned to Scotty Scheffler form and just blew away the field. Bogeyed the 72nd hole and still won by 3.
Yeah, I mean, the 3-shot winning margin looks way closer than it was. I think it was a runaway. If they didn't have weather, he's going to win by 5. I mean, it was over and put to bed. And, like, I'm getting to the point, Colt, where it's like, I don't know what left to say. I don't know what else we can say. Like, Scotty Scheffler is way better than everyone else in the world at golf. We know it. They know it. All the players know it. Everyone who watches golf knows it. It's just one of those weird, we don't get stretches like this hardly ever in golf, although there's another one happening on the LPGA right now. Shout out Nelly Corda.
Yes,
Cinco in a row. But, like, you're exactly right. Like, if there was ever a week where expectations should be low for Scotty, it was this past week. Coming off the Masters win, flying home, checking on his wife, flying back up, playing 9 holes in a Pro-Am, all the emotional energy he used last week. Like, if he had a pedestrian week, no one would have batted an eye. Would have been a free pass for Scotty. But he doesn't just win. Like, he beat their heads in once again. It's just over and over. He was 36th in the field in putting. We kept wondering last year, Colt, what would happen? What if he's just okay with the putter? Like, we're starting to see it. He wins tournaments and they're not close.
He shanked a bunker shot early on Thursday. That's about the only thing he did wrong. Because then after that, he didn't make anything worse than a par the rest of the way until the 72nd hole. Goes out there, shoots 65 on Friday, plays his way into a little bit, gets off to a hot start on Saturday. I'm walking with Ludwig Oberg and Patrick Rogers, and Scotty's something like, 7 under through 15. We're on the 10th hole. There's a big scoreboard there. Patrick Rogers sees it, and he just looks at me and goes, "Please tell me Meredith's about to go into labor. This is getting ridiculous." Like, I mean, they know it. They know they cannot beat him right now.
Everybody, and why would they think otherwise? Like we just said, he just won the Masters by 4. We don't necessarily believe that was his best stuff to a degree, and he just won this week with 0 prep, basically. It says by 3, but it was really not even any closer than that. Like, he's winning tournaments easily. Like, they're not even close. I mean, God forbid he throws together a week, Colt, where he has a hot week with the putter and continues to hit it. Like how many is he going to win by then? 8, 9? Like, I don't think we're seeing the best of the best from Scotty, and it's still miles ahead of everyone else. It's crazy. I mean, these stats, Colt, he went 53 consecutive holes last week without a 5. Okay. I didn't even know that was a stat that people keep. Like, that's a clean 9 if you go a 9 without a 5. And now I think he's on his 40th round of par or better. Like, he's just doing weird shit.
Yeah, he's still 12 behind Tiger's record, but he's still, it's an unbelievable roll he's on right now. I mean, Sunday, he had the 1-shot lead. Obviously, he was a minus 140 favorite to win with a 1-shot lead. And he goes out there, and I had just walked the second hole. And it's an easy par 5. But I saw Ludwig make a mess of it, made 6 from over the green. Scotty's over the green on the other side of the bunker, and I just hear this massive roar and I just look over at my monitor, and there he is, and just chips in, and it went in the dead center of the hole, like absolutely perfect. I'm like, well, this thing is over. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, he starts chipping in. The one thing I'll say about all this is I feel like maybe his short game is starting to get a little bit of the credit it deserves, because it seems like he went a year plus without ever really having to use it, and he's used it a few times here in the last few weeks, and it's as good as anybody else is out there, if not better. It's just another category where he's a beast, man. And yeah, I don't know how much more we can reiterate it, but there's problems if you're everybody else.
Well, he's already made over, I think, $18 million this season. He's averaging $1.8 million a start. Like, it's absurd. But let's just look good. I'm going to give Kyle Porter from CBS a shout out for this, okay? Because the last 5 events he's played, obviously he's won 4 and he finished second in the other. So that's Arnold Palmer, the Players, Houston, the Masters, and the RBC Heritage. If you took everyone that played that made the cut at all 5 of them and took the field average, they were 1 under par. Scotty was 76. He is 75 shots ahead of the average guy that makes the cut. I mean, how do you feel if you're a tour player? You're getting beat by 15 shots a week on average if you're just an average guy out there. And by the way, that's an average guy that made the cut.
Dude, we're getting into there. You know, there's like, we always talk about Colt. Like, here's the Tiger stats, and it's like that should be a separate category. Here's the non-human records, and then here's everybody else. Like, Scotty's starting to work somewhere in the middle. He's out of the normal human stuff. I just read Colt with his win this past week. You know, we did his world golf ranking, the difference between the players last week. Now the difference between Scotty and Rory is greater than the difference between Rory and Tiger Woods, who plays a couple times a year, maybe. That's how big the gap is.
It's getting silly. And I know the money's like crazy and everything, but he is now 10th on the all-time career PGA Tour money list at over $60 million already in his career. It's hard to do that. I saw somebody did it, and like if they would have had these purses in 2000 when Tiger just went nuts, he would have won like $92 million, they said.
Good year.
Good year. Decent year. But it's just incredible, man. I'm obviously he's got a lot going on in his life right now, playing great golf, but he's about to become a father for the first time here in a couple weeks. Not sure when we'll see him again. Hopefully Wells Fargo. If not, he'll have 3 weeks off before the PGA Championship, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think he's going to be out there at Royal Oaks slapping Frank and the boys around probably 3 times a week and getting ready to go, and then he'll fly out to Valhalla and beat everyone's ass. I said it on our SiriusXM show when I called in earlier today. Riggs from Barstool had a great tweet. He goes, I don't know much about Valhalla, but if it is indeed a golf course, I like Scotty Scheffler to win the PGA Championship.
That's it. Mean, it could be a putt course. I bet Scotty by $1 million. Yeah. By the way, yeah, and majors probably favor him more than anything. Tougher it gets, the more he's going to shine.
Yeah, I mean he is right around 3.5 to 1 to win the PGA.
Yeah, I mean his only not incredible finish this year is the Amex in Palm Springs, which is basically just like kind of turns into a putting contest. And
I know it's easy, but he did shoot 21 under par. I mean,
21. He just didn't get to 30. Probably wasn't rolling it. Yeah. It's sickening. But you got a big week coming up, huh? You just talked about, sorry about your bag. Tough break for you.
Yeah.
But you'll figure it out. Tell the boys, tell everybody what we got.
Yeah, just landed in Philly. Drove past Lincoln Financial Field. Almost puked a little bit. The place looks disgusting. But yeah, playing Pine Valley Tuesday and Wednesday. Can't wait. I've played here. I played 3 rounds here. It is, as you know, one of the best in the world. Awesome group. We got 8 of us coming up. Some notables. I know our man producer Mark's going to be excited. Eli Manning is actually our host, which is really cool. I've actually never met him. I hate him because he's a New York Giant, and I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. But we got an awesome little match. We had one planned. It was going to be me and Justin Thomas versus Smiley Kaufman and Keegan Bradley. Keegan was coming up on the trip. But Keegan's son won one of his big Little League games and advanced to the next round. So he has to go watch his son play on Tuesday. So he's going to miss out.
Shout out to him. Dad of the year type stuff. Pass up PV for your kid's Little League game. What a guy. I like him even more now.
Also, could be a lie just because he found out Smiley was going to be his partner and he didn't want any part of that.
Don't want to get dirt. Hold on. Let me get in the zone real quick because I got a serious question for you.
Okay. Get in the zone. I like that.
Helps me think a little bit better. So the game now, this is commentator on commentator crime right here. CBS, NBC colliding. I need you to set the line for me. We might have to go.
Well, I haven't even told you
who's a market
taking
for
his
this.
Place.
Yeah, go. That's what I'm saying. Tell him who's sliding in.
I'm staying with JT, obviously. And then Smiley, I think he might have upgraded because the man's starting to play some better golf. Ricky Fowler is joining the squad. So we're going to have a couple fun days.
What do you got the line? Where's Vegas putting this?
Well, I don't want to say any names, but I actually did poll some of the guys on Sunday on the putting green, and they're saying me and JT are massive favorites.
Wow, massive. I don't know how Smiley's hitting it now, but we'll be curious to hear about this on the way. So that's
Either
going to
way,
be a hell of a match.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's cool. Eli is our
Bet
host. Actually, Theo Epstein is joining us. I mean, this I don't know how the hell I got invited, but it's really cool. I'm excited. It's Pine Valley, and it's supposed to be like for April. It's supposed to be like high 68, I think, both days, and just a little bit of wind, but sunny. So very lucky. Hopefully the meteorologists here are a little better than what we had over at Harbor Town.
if it looks like it's going to lightning and just open up, maybe just try to tee off earlier. I heard that's an option for these type of deals. Just a little food for thought.
But I'll give you a little shout. I know you're very jealous of Pine Valley, but I was very jealous last week because you're over at the 8 a.m.
Dude.
Invitational in Vegas. I went last year, and it's so much fun. My manager, Kaylee, actually made the trip this year. She goes, I will never miss this again. I'm like, hey, glad you got to go. I'm out in Harbor Town watching Scotty just win by 100 again. But you actually look and sound way better than I thought you would.
It's fake. I'm all hopped up on everything right now. I'm here physically, but my soul and everything else was left behind in Vegas, dude. Speaking of don't ask questions about shit you get invited to. Like, this is one for us typically. And I miss you this time, big dog. But dude, as you know, it's the week of the year. Like, huge shout out to 8 a.m. the way they run that thing. I'll tell you this, like, it happened to both of us last year, as it tends to occur. Some people get a little injured in between round 1 and round 2, right? Just so happens this year. And in his defense, he had a little neck injury prior to this on the first day too. But Justin Timberlake got a little neck tweak and like kind of was moving like he had a crick in his neck. It's like, dude, I can't swing a golf club. So what happens? I come in, borrow some clubs from our guy DJ Lance, and end up teaming up with Jimmy Fallon for the rest of the day. And dude, is one of the, and Justin just rode around and basically like caddied for us. And there were moments out there like when we were all in the cart and I was driving, I was like, this is weird, but like if I happen to just accidentally drive into a tree right now, like it affects the world. You know what I mean? Like, maybe don't do that, but dude, it was one of the best times ever. We had a ball. We finished our closing match, Colt, with Blake Griffin and Chandler Parsons.
The champs.
We did not set any speed records in that 9. There were some distractions happening out there. But yes, shout out to them as the champs. I believe our team was disqualified because the partners changed in this thing, which was disappointing to a couple of guys on our team. But those they competed too. Chandler playing. I mean, he's as good as they come, and Blake was a 10 of an ad this year. And it's the best week of the year, man. No doubt about it. So that's a lot of self-sucking by both of us. We got cool shit going on right now, but we are what we are.
Yeah.
What are you
I
going to do?
Travis Kelce wasn't there this year, who brought all the energy last year. Who was the MVP this year? I mean, Jimmy Fallon. He always
Jimmy
brings it.
Doesn't stop. He goes constantly. Karaoke night, man. There were some good shows up there. Chandler put on a good show up there as far as energy. I mean, Blake Griffin is I'd never been around Blake. He was Chandler's partner. Ended up hanging with him a good portion of the week. He's a 12. I mean, it's hard to. There weren't a whole lot of people that weren't bringing the energy. You know what I mean? Also cool for me. White Chocolate was in the house. Jason Williams.
Saw that. Yeah.
Sick.
I did see. I believe I saw a video of Dexter Fowler singing some Usher.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
Bro, Dex, dude, I got some real good video of that for you, by the way. The only thing he didn't do, let's just say, was take the shirt off. Like, it was, I think there was some chicks watching that got pregnant just from being in the stands, dude. It was like he'd been like waiting. That's for sure, like how he envisions himself is like as an usher, you know? It was good.
God, I'm jealous. I got to make sure my schedule fits that next year. PGA Tour, schedule it around the 8 a.m. Invitational. What are you doing?
You move everything around this event. Like, you just move heaven and earth to be available for this week. So once again, 8 a.m. Unbelievable week. That was legit like a day I'll never forget. I was like, whatever happens, I got this day.
Yeah,
and we balled so hard out there too. Luckily, we got DQ'd, or it would have been a runaway.
I love it. Also, we got to give a shout out to Miles Rogers, the 15-year-old. Made the cut on the Korn Ferry Tour, finished in the top 25, got himself a spot this week on the Korn Ferry Tour. Unbelievable golf. 15 years old. I know he's the number 1 AJGA player in the world. Goes out there and shot 14 under for 4 days. It was unbelievable. At one point on Sunday, I know the leaders were just getting going, but he was up to like T4. But huge shout out to him. That is some impressive stuff. I'm guessing you can just go ahead and pick wherever you want to go to college, or if you do go to college. But Man, the swing is beautiful. He's a lefty, and he's got a ton of game.
Yeah. On a not an easy golf course on that tour, easy, like just zero shell shock. We actually had a caller into the radio show today about a guy that was from his home golf course, just going on and on about this kid and what a good kid he is and things like that. I thought he came across awesome in his interviews, and it's a joke. Cole, you played a bunch of Corn Ferry events. I played a good amount of those. Like, go back to your 15-year-old self. Tell me how you think you do in that thing. It'd be a joke. I'd shoot 1,000.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's scary. You can never project, but things look pretty good for 15-year-old Miles Russell.
Yeah, pumped for him. Can't wait to see what he does this week out on the Corn Ferry Tour. But before we get to our interview, obviously you look great. I look great. Another self-suck because we're rocking our Rowback. And the easiest way to describe Rowback is best fit, best feel. The quality of the gear just speaks for itself. Just in time for your summer tea time, check out their new releases. We can't get enough of their performance polos, obviously their hoodies, and crews because they're just that comfortable. The fabric is soft, the fit is perfect, it moves with you, and performs in the heat, keeping you cool and comfortable. Like I said, performance polos, performance hoodies, the hoodies, the best in the business, in my opinion. They are so soft, so comfortable, make traveling really easy, and they work on the golf course. You want to get some? Go to rowback.com. That's RHOBACK.com for a generous 20% off your first order. Once again, 20% off your order if you go to rowback.com. Make sure you use code SUB and make sure to check out before summer, and they will have you ready for whatever travels or activities you have. Rowback.com, code SUB. All right, Sleeves, we got a special one this week. The man was all over the internet after his performance at the Masters. He was low-am, got to go to Butler Cabin, played with Tiger Woods. It was a hell of a week for Neal Shipley. Here he is on Golf Subpar.
All right, folks. I don't care what you've done in the last week. It has not been as cool as what our guest has done. He's coming off a low-am finish at the Masters, trip to Butler Cabin, not to mention a little Sunday pairing with Tiger Woods himself. Neal Shipley is in the house. Neal, I mean, who's got it better than you right now, bud?
I don't know anyone. It's been a dream week, especially for any golfer. Tough to beat.
I was hoping you were gonna steal your favorite football coach's line and say nobody. Kidding. I know Jim Harbaugh's not your guy, but
yeah,
nobody. But man, what a week it was for you. I called every shot of yours on Sunday, but Saturday night I was sitting there. The groups are getting ready to finish, and I was like, this Neal Shipley is about to be low amateur and play alongside Tiger Woods. I mean, how good is that? What was the reaction like? I know you went to the range of practice. You weren't happy with how you played on Saturday, but what was the reaction like when you found out you were playing with Tiger Woods on Sunday at the Masters?
Yeah, well, obviously, I was pretty ticked off after the 80 on Saturday, and we went to the practice facility and we were just working on some things. And my caddy came over to us and he's like, "Dude, like my phone just blew up. Like we're playing with Tiger." And just like, there's no way. Like somebody's messing it up somewhere. And then I went over this little scoreboard that they have out there and saw that I was gonna, it looked like we are gonna get paired with Tiger, and I just like, holy smokes, like that's nuts. I hope and my second thought was, oh geez, like he shot 82. I really hope he doesn't withdraw.
Yeah.
That's a
good point.
Legit concern, because there were times on that late in that or early in that weekend, I was like, I don't know, this is just brutal out there. But you get that news, you're freaking out, everyone's freaking out. You show up Sunday. Other than introducing yourself, like what was the first thing you said to Tiger? And did you think about what you were going to say? Like, what do I say to the GOAT?
Well, yeah, I don't think we didn't talk much down the first hole. But then on the second hole, I asked him like, "Oh, you're from SoCal, right?" Like I didn't know that already.
What's your name again?
And so then we got into his little story. We started talking about his time at Stanford a bit down the second hole, and that's kind of what we led with, and kind of got the conversation flowing from there.
Can I just say that pitch shot, first off, the iron shot on number 2 wasn't that great. The pitch shot you hit on number 2, that little slice flop spinner was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was one of the top pitch shots I hit all week for sure. It's such a fun green because you can just be so creative and feed it in different ways. And so I dropped a lot of balls there in all my practice trips and practiced that one a lot. So we knew how to hit that one, and that was a ton of fun. I wish it would have gone in. We would have gotten a huge Tiger roar.
Man, when it was like 8 feet away, I was like, this is about to go in. And then obviously it just missed, but Tiger gave you a little nod. Like that was impressive. Like there's not many guys their first trip that can do that. But you mentioned your practice trips. How many trips did you take leading up to the Masters?
Yeah, so we get an allotment of 5, and I took every trip I could.
Of course.
And what's really cool about the trips too is you can play as many holes on. It's just a day. You get 5 days. So on those 5 days, I used all of my days and I played 27 or 36 holes each time. So I got somewhere in the range of like 140 holes in at Augusta prior to the tournament week. So I knew the golf course really well for a rookie going into there. I know a lot of the rookies don't get the time to take all those trips and the pros don't, but my college schedule kind of allowed for it, which is very nice.
Yeah, you're a smart dude. Those high level degrees. I knew you had big brains. And yeah, how did the lottery work in terms of who you took with you?
Oh gosh, so well, we've got our caddy in first with us. Carter Pitcairn is my guy. I had him the first time in January, and that was a really cool experience having a buddy like that for our first trip. I got my brother out there. He goes to school at Clemson just down the road, so I had to make sure I got him in. Had our assistant coach, Jimmy Beck, in for a trip. He played Corn Ferry Tour for a bit, caddy for me at the Amateur for most of that. And so, he's been kind of he's been really instrumental in some of my development this last year or so. So that it was awesome to have him out there. And then last trip was with Carter again for another just last scouting trip with the caddy. So it's been pretty fun.
Well, tell us how this went with Carter, because he's a Wisconsin guy. You started at James Madison, and James Madison upset Wisconsin in the March Madness in the NCAA tournament. How did that go over?
Oh, we were on our way down to Florida for a tournament, and I was in the plane, just glued to my phone the entire time. And I mean, it's a late flight, guys are sleeping, and I'm like fist pumping and getting really excited, waking people up on the plane. So I was pumped. And as soon as the buzzer, came down to the buzzer and we won the game, I text I know all those Wisconsin golf guys. I text them so much crap the entire time. I was giving them crap beforehand and then after. And man, after seeing that game too, I really liked our chances against Duke. And then they kind of smacked us. But it was a fun. It's always fun to get some punches at those buddies.
And didn't you watch the national championship game in the Crow's Nest? And they apparently have some like tiny TV, and the three of y'all were just huddled around staring at it, like basically watching on an iPhone.
Yeah. I mean, that thing is, it's slightly bigger than a computer monitor, probably. It's tiny. And yeah, we were watching that game together with the three of us and just chatting it up. It was me, Christo, and Jasper. That was a super fun night.
Give everyone a little look into the Crow's Nest, just real quick. Like, what's it like? Is it a dorm room scenario? Can you hear other people if they're snoring?
Oh yeah, it's when one person wakes up in the Crow's Nest, everybody wakes up, for sure. But it's quite comfortable. It's small, but there's twin beds. Christo probably had a miserable night, being 6'8", but. I was really comfortable up there and had a really good night with the guys. It's, the only thing is like the shower situation is really tiny. The space you have in your own bedroom, and it's not even really a bedroom. It's just kind of like a wooden partition. And there's probably about a foot space on the bottom. So that's why you can hear everything from everyone. So it's, that's small, but it's a really cool little area. And to think about the history up there is awesome. Like the amount of guys that have been up there, it's like, the names of, golf, everyone.
How many nights do you stay in the Crow's Nest?
Just one. I just did Monday night. I was in the comfort of a king bed the rest of the week.
Yeah, because I had some beef up there.
Those stairs are rowdy. They are so steep.
Yeah, they're steep, and it's weird. You got to walk through like the little like bar area too to get there. It's like real hidden, and it's you can tell they haven't really changed it much probably in the last 90 years.
Did the other guys stay there during the week? Because I mean, that's if someone tees off super early and another guy's late and they're waking up and making noise, it seems like it'd be tough to stay in there actually during the week when you're trying to play good golf.
Yeah, I don't know any amateurs this year that stayed there the whole week. The only guy I have heard of doing that was James Pyatt. I think he told me that he stayed the whole week up there and had a really good time. But yeah, I know. I think Stu said that he just stayed Sunday night and it was just all on his own. He had like a fancy bottle of wine brought up and had a cigar or something like that. He said just some real mid-am stuff.
Of course.
And I think I don't know if Santiago stayed up there or not. And I'm not sure if he did, but no one stayed more than one night up there, I think.
Well, I want to go back to your quarterfinal match at the U.S. Amateur. Obviously, you've got to win that match to get into the finals, and once you get in the finals, you have a ticket booked to the Masters, the U.S. Open, obviously as well. But what was that? Because it was one of the coolest celebrations I've ever seen when you spun that ball back to basically a kick in and knew you were going to advance. What was that moment like when you realized you were going to book your ticket to the Masters?
Gosh, I mean I didn't really think about the Masters until the drive up, honestly. I mean, I was just like, match was so intense, and the comeback on the back nine was so awesome. I mean, I've really turned a hole on 11, stuffed one on 12, and then I think I won 15 as well and 16. So just like a huge, roaring comeback, and to top it off with that spin, that like yo-yo of a wedge was just so cool. I don't really remember most of the celebration, to be honest, kind of blacked out from the walk up, but
you high-fived everyone. It was
yeah,
awesome.
I saw that. Yeah, it was so cool. But when the moment it hit me though, when I was playing Augusta, it was, we got off the green there on 17. I'm signing autographs for 10, 15 minutes, and one of the USGA guys kind of pulls my shirt and says, "Hey, like, we need to get you up for media so you're not, here forever." And so we get up to go do media, and my caddy's in the back of the cart, and I turn around to him and said, like, "Hey, dude, like, we just got a tee time at effing Augusta." So that was kind of the moment where it really clicked for me.
Yeah, that's sick. And also like the Open Championship vibe with the fans, they're all around there and you get to interact with them. It makes it so good. Let's go to your media a little bit, because you're getting some pub at the Masters for your eyeballs on, and you've been doing McAfee. I mean, dude, you've been everywhere like since this thing happened. What's it all been like, just kind of being thrust into the spotlight like this?
It's been a little crazy, like I didn't see any of that Butler Cabin rum like feed at all. And, we got back to our house and having a few drinks with friends and family and celebrating. And, then my brother comes up and is like laughing at me. It's like, look at this meme that like Paige Sporanic just posted. I'm like, what? She just posted a meme about like with me in it. And I saw the picture and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. But it's been a whirlwind, and it's been really cool, like to do things like being on Pat McAfee. I mean, he's a Pittsburgh guy. I've been a huge fan of him for a long time, and to chop it up with him and his boys was so fun. And a lot of the other shows I've been doing, it's just been really cool. Seeing things you kind of dream of, being able to do things like this, and definitely it's been so fun. It's been a lot of work and a lot of time, but well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, going on Pat McAfee, that is cool. He's got one of the best shows going. I want to ask you about this, because if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see, I believe you're probably in your apartment in Columbus. What are the posters on the wall back there?
Oh, yeah. So this one right there, I can't even point to it to be. Okay, yeah. This one right there, that's Back to the Future. That's probably one of my favorite movie series. This is just like Asian art. I was kind of a big art. I'm still really love art and prints. I think print art is just like super cool. And then I have another one with the Kobe and MJ over in that room. So yeah, just just some good college apartment decor.
Good to see a young buck having a little Back to the Future. I mean, that's way before that's early for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good. I mean, I don't know. That's one that's kind of been lost on, I think, my generation. I think it's just such a good movie. So funny too. The whole series.
I think Paige is going to be very disappointed you don't have a poster of her somewhere.
You get her calendar. You ask her for a calendar, and she's making memes of you, dude. Be like, it's only right. You're using pictures of me. Slide me a few over here. You know what I mean? A little quid pro quo.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if my girlfriend would be too happy about that, but
fair enough. I was actually going to ask you about that, because I saw your return to Columbus. Your boys showered you as they should. They big response when you came home. But I was going to say, I imagine the dating pool has opened up substantially, but put that to bed. Taken man, head down, blinders.
Oh yeah, we got blinders on. A lot of interesting things in the DMs these days, and it's actually been it's been really fun for my girlfriend and I to read through them and kind of have a really good chuckle about some way some girls are shooting their shot.
Well, I'll tell you this: all 12 of our female listeners are very disappointed right now.
They'll still DM you though.
Yes,
they're not. If they don't care, they don't care. All right, before we get back to our interview, a quick break to tell you, if you haven't done it yet, go check out our YouTube page. It's golf_subpar. We got some new content coming up. at the ASU facility. We're going to have some more stuff coming out as the year goes on. So if you haven't yet, go to YouTube, subscribe, golf_subpar. And now back to our interview.
I want to go back to the start of the week at the Masters because this is my fourth Masters covering. I've watched, obviously, every one since I've been alive. I've never seen 2 days of wind like Thursday and Friday. What was it like playing in those conditions? I mean, you shot 76 on Friday, which wasn't horrible. You made 2 pars on your second 9. Like, it was wild out there.
Yeah, no, coming around Amen Corner was wild. 11 was playing as a par 5. 10 was pretty much a par 5 too. I mean, especially Thursday, I hit 4 iron in there. Like, I hit 9 iron in there, I think, the last day. Like, that hole is playing so difficult. Yeah, 11 was nuts. I mean, I know Mike Weir laid up, to like a 60-yard shot, like before the lake. I mean, not a lot of good things are happening to guys with hitting 3-wood or 5-wood in there. And then on 12, with such a small target and so much wind, that was just a miserable shot. You're just trying to not, put it on dry land and somewhere you can get up and down. So, we really struggled through that on Saturday. But, I think what was the crazy part was how much the wind was affecting some of those putts. I mean, like the putt on 17 on Friday was like, straight downhill, straight downwind, on a crusty, really firm green. And I mean, I hit the thing to try and hit it 2 feet, and it was just trickle, trickle, trickle. It looked like it was going to stop 5 feet short and ended up going 2 feet by the hole. Like, it was pretty crazy. And then even then, when you're going on 18 down the hill, usually those putts are screaming down that hill, but you have to like give it gas down the ridge to get it to the hole. So I mean, that was brought a lot of challenges, and we saw a ton of high scores, and it's pretty shocking to have a cut at 6 over at the Masters. I mean, that was when I finished up, I was like, yeah, 4 or 5 is probably gonna be good, and the fact it got all the way to 6 I was like, holy smokes.
Man, I had some buddies that were in at 4, and they were texting me like, hey, what are you doing tonight just in case we don't make the cut? And I was like, I think you're going to probably be good. 4 made it easily. It was so comfortable. I couldn't believe it went to 6.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I mean, I thought when I got off the golf course at 3, I was like, man, like I think it's going to be really close. And then I go to the scoring area and see him T45, and I'm like, oh, well, dang, I'm in already. So I got to sleep easy.
It would have gone to +9 if they had started earlier and had a few more hours of daylight. I mean, it was impossible out there. Back to Sunday for a minute with Tiger. Like, even seasoned veterans who have played on the PGA Tour for 10 years, everyone who plays with Tiger gets uncomfortable because it's just a different experience. How long did it take you? And did you ever feel like normal, okay, I got my legs under me at any point during that round?
I think once I hit that really good pitch shot on 2, I felt pretty comfortable. I kind of made a mess of 3, but that was more just I hit a bad wedge shot and left myself short of the green and just had to kind of take my medicine from there. But no, I felt after 2, and especially after talking down to Fairway Tiger, I felt comfortable. I never felt uncomfortable with the crowds. It's more just like like being in awe of playing with Tiger. Like, that was kind of the big thing for me.
But you guys talked so much. Sorry, Colt. But you guys talked so much during the round. Like, it's felt like I think I saw Tiger talk to you more than I've seen him with virtually anybody else I've seen him play with.
Yeah, I think because we were both like 12 over, he was a little bit more chatty than normal.
Fair.
I was told a story about I think 2019, and I think Finau knows him pretty well. And Finau asked him like, "Hey, how are your kids doing?" And he just responded to him, "Good," and then just walked away. I think Tony got the message after that he was really lasered in. But I think Tiger kind of realized how cool of an experience this was for me, and that it's just going to be a relaxed round. We weren't really playing for much, so. I think because of that, it was a unique experience with Tiger.
Yeah, the deal with Tony, obviously, they were in the final group there in 2019, and Tiger was all business. But I think it shows a lot about how he's kind of loosened up the last 5-6 years, knowing he's kind of towards the end of his career, has helped a lot of the young guys out, in their career. And I thought it was so awesome to see y'all chatting going down the fairway. Did it surprise you how talkative he was?
It definitely did. I wasn't really expecting to hold a super long conversation with him, but we had multiple conversations that went down the whole fairway. So that was pretty surprised by that, but that was just like it was awesome. I mean, we got to go through so many different topics and talking about golf courses, his kids, his college career, my life a little bit too. He asked me a few questions about me, which I thought was really cool that he took a little bit of an interest in me. So it was pretty cool, pretty unique.
Yeah, and no matter what you do in golf, like that's going to be a day that's going to be hard. You might win 7 majors, and it might not ever get any better than what you just had on Sunday at Augusta. But where do you go from here? Like that's pretty tough to top. What's the next amateur tournament you got lined up?
We're playing our home event up here in Ohio, the Robert Kepler Invitational at the Scarlet Course. So fields not quite as good as what we had this past weekend, and I'm not going to be playing at Tiger Woods, but definitely it's I have a bunch of guys around here at Ohio State that I'm, really proud of, and I've done a lot of really great work, and I'm making it a big point to really stay focused here these next months to, be ready to go and play my best for them because, we've been through a lot the last 2 years, and we have a great squad, and I think we can do a lot of great things. So, certainly it's not an easy task with all the things going on right now in my world, but got to be there for these guys. Love these guys up here in Columbus.
Well, like we said before the show, it's obviously a good thing you're getting asked to do all these things. People don't reach out for interviews when you play terrible. So it's really cool. And I've actually played that college event of y'all's up there at Ohio State. I played the Scarlet Course many a times. It's whipped my ass many a times. So best of luck to you in that. But then you got the U.S. Open. Obviously, this summer will be your next professional tournament. When do you plan on turning pro, or do you? Because I know you have 3 degrees, so you have a lot of options.
Yeah, I'm definitely going down the professional golf route. I love everything I've done in school, but I don't think an office job's for me. I think golf is something that I'll be in for a long time, whether it's on the coaching side or definitely, hopefully playing professional. I think I got the skill for it. And, I think I definitely have the mind for it and the ability to handle the pressure. I think I showed that this week, at the Masters. So, we're probably going to be turning pro. If I get status on PJ Tour Americas, I'll be turning pro right after the US Open. If not, just kind of depending upon, what starts we get, but I think that's the thing is I might be playing in the Palmer Cup as well. So, we really have a long-term outlook on this thing. What happens in the next 3 months is going to define my professional career. So, I think playing in the Palmer Cup at La Hinge this summer would be a really great addition to, get some experience on the golf course. And, it'd be great to be able to turn pro for the US Open, but at the end of the day, cashing a, $50,000 check there isn't going to change my life. So, just looking at getting experience and continue to grow.
That's that quantitative finance coming in handy for you right there. Let's say when you do turn pro, you're going to get opportunities. Is there a certain event that you'd really like to make a pitch for a sponsor's invite?
I've heard a lot of good things about the Rocket Mortgage up in Detroit and that golf course. I'd really like to be out there. There's so many great events on tour, though. I know the Travelers is one that's great. 3M's really good too. Those ones potentially could be accessible, but at the end of the day, you just got to go up and show out on the golf course, and those things take care of themselves. That's kind of my what I'm focusing on. And obviously too with this making a cut at a major, I get through all the pre-qualifying, so I get to go straight to all the Mondays now. So we might go and try and Monday into a few things and see what happens.
Love that.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of options going forward. You got a very bright future, and we're very excited for you, man. It was awesome to watch you last week. Slee, should we get to the E9?
Absolutely. E9 time for the big fella.
Okay. 9 fun questions to learn a little bit more about Neal Shipley, and we ask this to everyone. You have a girlfriend, so we're going to go the other route, but if you could be anyone else for a day, who would it be? It could be anyone, dead or alive, just anyone in the history of time. Who would you be for a day?
Probably Arnold Palmer. I got to go Arnold Palmer. I think that would be
Pittsburgh guy.
Pittsburgh guy, and just also the legacy he's left. You talk about there's a lot of guys who have played golf and have just as many majors as him, but the legacy that he has is pretty unbelievable. I'm close with the Palmer Foundation guys, and even see now the impacts that he's left. So I definitely love to step into his shoes for a day.
About as cool as they come. Your girlfriend, since she said she was reading the DMs with you, she sounds like a cool chick. So we'll ask you the other one that we asked for the single fellas, but celebrity crush if you had one.
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to go with that one, guys. Quite honestly,
anywhere you want.
Oh gosh,
they're all on the table.
All on the table. Oh my goodness. Not really. I got to think about it.
You want to sit on it for a minute?
Someone I'd like to meet. This is not like a crush at all, but I think Livy Dunn. She seems like she's really cool. And like has a
Yeah,
fun personality.
seems
So
kind of cool.
Yeah, she
yeah,
seems like a
I don't
nice,
know,
nice
but
girl.
I think she'd be fun to meet and hang out with. But I'm not really, you know what I mean. Not a lot of
Yeah,
crushes
no,
going on right now, to be honest.
yeah, she seems like she has a good attitude. Sydney Sweeney seemed like it'd be a fun girl to talk to too. You know, just off the top of my head, if we're thinking of just cool girls. All right, I'll give you my next one. All right, you didn't start there, so this may be a little bit different, but you're an Ohio State guy now. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you fall in terms of your hate for Michigan?
Mm. Probably up there with the 9 or
Ooh.
10. After seeing what happened this football season, that really ignited that flame in me with all the whole cheating scandal. I mean, I'm just not for any of that. So, yeah, I'm up there. I just hate Michigan.
That's good. 9.
Yeah, I mean, as you should. You're an Ohio State guy. But mine kind of followed along in that same kind of department there. But I was going to say, what was a bigger surprise, James Madison beating Wisconsin in basketball, or the fact that the Buckeyes have lost to Michigan 3 straight times?
Buckeyes lose to Michigan 3 straight times. That just can't happen. It doesn't matter how many games you win or the fact that we make the CFP. Regardless of that, you can't lose to Michigan as an Ohio State coach. We had too talented of a team to do that.
You're spending $34 million for next season to try to make sure it doesn't happen again. So you guys are in good shape. It's good to have cash. I'll got one more like college related one.
Tell Ryan Day you want some of that NIL they're spending, by the way.
Yeah, dude, break off a little piece. Just a little piece. All right, answer me this. If it had worked out this way, James Madison collides with Ohio State in the NCAA basketball tournament, who gets your allegiance?
James Madison. Sorry to my Columbus boys, but I consider JMU where I went to college, and Ohio State's where I've played most of my golf, most of my good golf. So that's how I look at it.
It's fair.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, you're obviously a diehard James Madison fan, but you said you hate Michigan. So would you be willing to shave your head to guarantee that Ohio State beat Michigan next year?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that hair is special.
It is. I will say, I was thinking about cutting it off before the U.S. Amateur. Like, I thought I'm going to play U.S. Amateur, then I'm going to cut it. And then U.S. Amateur happened. I'm like, well, shit, I can't really cut this now. It's its own little brand. So it also makes me super recognizable on the golf course because nobody else has hair like this out there. I kind of look like a normal frat dude. So it's been pretty fun to have that going on. But for a win against Michigan, I'll take one for the team.
That's a big time fan. And just a follow up on that, because I'm here in Harbortown this week. I was over hanging out with some friends. Had some few people like, what are you doing? I was like, I got to go interview Neal Shipley for our podcast. And some girls were like, please ask him what product he uses for his hair, because his hair is fantastic. So that's an asking for a friend moment. So can you give us a little insight to what you put in the hair?
Yeah, we try to go, I don't even know the name of the product, just some like real girly product, not gonna lie. So I mean, if you go to like the Head and Shoulders route, or like, some of the male product just like burns out your hair, makes it real dry. So we make sure we got really girly conditioner, really girly shampoo, just to make sure it look you're keeping it fresh. I've been going to the same, my mom's hairdresser has done my brother, my sister's hair, and my hair for forever. So I've been going to her, and we keep it trimmed up, looking nice. That's an important part of it too. You got to keep it maintained.
Yeah, that's part of you now. Is it always just flowing, the flowing locks? Or are you a man bun guy? You ever mix it up?
It's not long enough to bun it, unfortunately. We cut the top a little shorter, and it's kind of layered in there, so it doesn't all really bun neatly. But I've tried it. It got long enough once, and I tried it, and it's just like, nah, that's not me. That wasn't a good look.
Okay, all right, fair enough. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, here we go. Here's one for you. We talked about your degrees a little bit. I'm going to go through them. You have a degree in quantitative finance, a minor in econ and math, and a master's in data analytics. When you turn pro, is it cool to know that you'll be the second smartest pro golfer, only behind Gary Woodland? It's got to be a nice feather in the cap, huh?
Please say who is Gary Woodland. That would make the day.
I know Gary. I've seen him out at Pine Tree down in Florida a good bit, so I know him, and he's a Jayhawk. So
Yes,
But
He's not smart.
he's smart.
yeah.
He's smart. You guys are gonna have so much to talk about when you get paired together. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, that's a
He's,
good accolade, I guess.
he's a
Yeah.
beauty. He's a beauty. Just one little fun one. Like, who's the craziest person you've heard from since you're finished at the Masters?
Jeez. Well, as a Pittsburgh guy, the Pittsburgh Steelers DM'd me, which was really sweet. Actually, no, another one was have you heard of Permane Brothers, the sandwich shop in Pittsburgh?
I have not.
I'm not
but
familiar.
So it's a local delicacy. It's a massive sandwich. It's as big as your head, and it has like thick Italian bread, meat, cheese, coleslaw on it, tomato, and French fries on top, like all smashed in a sandwich. And it's just such a Pittsburgh thing. And they reached out to me and like asked me if I want to do a little collab with them. So that was really really cool.
That's awesome.
As a big Pittsburgh guy who loves his
Yeah.
Permane sandwiches, that was a true honor.
That's sick. That is sick. Sidebar, bonus question. How you feel about Russell Wilson coming to Pittsburgh? Feels like a very Pittsburgh guy, that Russell,
Yeah,
Very blue collar.
I don't know if he fits what I think of being a Steeler quarterback, but I think he's obviously shown a lot of great play in the past. We just got to get the right weapons around him, I think, and a better playbook than last year. I mean, Matt Canada was not the answer, so I'm hoping that this next guy is going to be really good for us.
Would you say you're a bigger Ohio State football fan or Pittsburgh Steeler fan?
Bigger Pittsburgh Steeler fan for sure. I
Love
grew
that.
up. Yeah, we had season tickets growing up, and my dad. I mean, I can't. If you watch a Steeler game with my dad, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. He's screaming at the TV and yelling at him, and
I like it.
gets pretty animated. When we were kids, my dad would watch a game upstairs, and we'd watch in the basement, just so we were kind of separated from his craziness and yelling and swearing. So.
I love that. Real fans. All the Steelers fans. Great.
Well, I have a
fan
really
base.
good one about my dad. We were watching a game down in it was the Jesse James game when he caught the ball. He caught that dang football and reached over the line and got called back. But we were in a bar watching the game with him, and he like literally almost got into a fight with some Patriots fans there. It got really tense there for a good bit. It was pretty funny.
That's
I like
Pittsburgh.
that.
That's
Passionate
Pittsburgh.
fans. I love them.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, Neal, we appreciate you, my man.
Hold on.
Oh, you got more?
I got one left.
Oh,
I got
okay.
one left.
Bonus
I
ball.
got one left. No, this is number. We've thrown a couple bonus balls there. My last one. All right, Neal. So, were you shocked at all when you sat next to Charles Barkley on a flight that he only had to buy one seat and not two?
That's crazy. I got lucky that I got upgraded to first class right next to him, and he barely even fit in that first class flight. Like that guy's huge. Yeah, that was it's a Delta flight, so they have like you can kind of he's on the aisle, so they had like a little armrest that can go push down, so you push that down and fit in there. But man, that guy was huge. He's such a nice guy too. It was cool to talk with him for a few minutes. It was really funny. I was like, I tapped on the shoulder and it's like, hey Chuck, like just love what you're doing with your golf swing. And he was like, oh man, I appreciate you. I love golf. I mean, it's like a full-time job for me. And I'm like, oh, I know all about that. And it's kind of funny to reconnect with the Pat McAfee show. When I heard he was going on after me, I was like, no freaking way. The guys are going to love this story.
I've known Charles for a long time, man. He is going to love hearing that. And he remembered you. I saw the Pat McAfee interview. He's like, oh, yeah, I remember. And he wants to reach out to you. So he is one of the best, though. But I always like to give him a hard time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, his swing has gotten so much better. Like you can tell he's putting the hours in, and kudos to him. It's not easy to go do that.
He plays every day he can. He loves it.
He's hitting it now. Real life.
Yeah, he is. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll get out on the course with him sometime. It'd be fun to try and chop it up with him.
He's easy money too, so definitely take advantage of that.
No question.
Well, Neal, man, congratulations on such a great week at the Masters. That was awesome to see. We really appreciate you coming on with us here at Subpar.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. This is a lot of fun.
All right, that was Neal Shipley joining us on Subpar Sleeves. I mean, how about that week? Not only you're playing the Masters, which is freaking amazing, but then you make the cut and you get that Sunday tee time, and there it is. Tiger Woods. Great trivia question going forward. Who is the first person Tiger actually played with in his Sunday red? In his red Sunday red?
Good call. Good call.
Yeah,
That was the
that'll be
first
a
time
fun
we
one.
got to see it. And by the way, the kid came out like he mentioned it in the interview, but that chip on 2 that was, by the way, filthy. Like, I don't care who you are, 20-year vets that play with Tiger Woods shit their pants the first time he's out there. He handled that thing incredibly well. I was really, really impressed with like his golf swing and in his hands too. I think like there's a big future, obviously, ahead for this young man. But all the pub he got, dude, the memes. That's the meme fame that he's gonna have is gonna be worth something for sure. And also, shout out to him. Must have a pretty sweet girl by his side to just read the DMs with her because apparently they were filling up. Another perk of the game.
He'll learn. Don't do that. It's not a good idea.
She ain't listening right now.
Loved he got to sit next to Charles Barkley. And I saw Charles on Pat McAfee later that day. And he's like, dude, oh, yeah, I remember them. I remember that kid. We talked about his golf swing and everything. But, I mean, things are really good for Neal Shipley right now. Excited to see what he does at the U.S. Open and then also in his pro career.
Yeah, he's got options, and he's got another major start coming up, and people are gonna be looking out for him this time. He's gonna be signing autographs and stuff when he gets down there to Pinehurst, guaranteed.
Hell yeah, that hair, man,
it's nice.
Jealous.
That ain't a joke. He was talking about shaving it. Over, I mean, what?
Don't do that.
That's Don't do that, dude. Don't do that. Like Troy Polamalu, like just keep that.
Yeah, it works for you. People know who you are because of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Colt, we got some picks to make, but first, as I mentioned, I'm in the zone, so these are probably going to be some great picks. And warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, and underage sale is prohibited. Introducing Zone Nicotine Pouches, the perfect balance of unparalleled comfort, longer-lasting flavor, and nicotine that satisfies. Whether you're zoning in for an important putt or zoning out after a tough day at work, Zone gets you there faster and keeps you there longer. Available in 7 flavors and in 6 and 9 milligram strengths. Find Zone at zonepouches.com and retailers near you. Own your zone with Zone Nicotine Pouches. Do that. Get in the zone.
I love it. Got to be in the zone.
Have
All
to.
right, let's get in the zone and make some picks. This week, we got the Zurich Classic down in New Orleans. I will be there. It's such a fun week, man. I love the city. I feel like New Orleans is a city you either love or you hate, and I love it. I've always had the best time down there. The food is incredible. The people are so nice. Yeah, the city might be a little dirty, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, maybe a little dirty.
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
that's part of its charm.
Exactly. But it's the only team event on the PGA Tour. We got a great field. Patrick Cantlay, Xander Schauffele are your favorites. Roy McIlroy, Shane Lowry teeing it up. Thigala, Zalatoris. We got 3 sets of brothers playing together. It's going to be a fun week. I can't wait to get down there after Pine Valley. And for my favorite, I mentioned Cantlay and Schauffele are your favorites, plus 490. I'm not touching that. I'm going to go with what I think will be a great story, and I think that's if one of the brothers, team of brothers wins. And I'm going to go with the Højgaard brothers, 24-1.
I like that. We all know about Nikolai, his brother Rasmus. People are extremely high on him over there. Look out for him on the next Ryder Cup team. They're going to have 2 of those machines going toe-to-toe. What's up?
I was going to throw one in there, but I'll save it for my dark horse.
Okay. You got it. All right, I'll go with my favorites. I'm taking Scotty Scheffler and any random idiot he wants to drag out of the crowd, and they'll win by
Play
7.
by himself.
Yeah, dude. Play by himself would be double unfair. No, all right. I'm staying near the top here. Will Zalatoris to hit the gala. Give him to me. Sahid's playing great golf. Just finished runner-up down there. We know how Will hits it. The combo of Will's ball striking, Sahid on and around the greens. Love that team. That would be a great champion team for the Zurich.
Wouldn't be one bit surprised if they get it done. I love that team. Saw it coming off a solo second. Huge payday for him there at the RBC Heritage. And it doesn't matter what kind of golf course it is. He seems to play well. Zalatoris starting to return to form. I like that team a lot. For my dark horse, by the way, I thought they would be last in the odds, and they're actually not, which shocks me. But I'm not taking them. But it's such a cool story. Eric Cole, who is an absolute stud, is playing with Russ Cochran. I don't even know if you know who Russ Cochran is.
Talk to me.
Okay, he's 65 years old.
Respect.
Okay, he's played on the PGA Tour for 100 years. This will be his 600th PGA Tour start. Eric Cole's caddy is Russ's son. So they're kind of, so Eric Cole, I mean, I don't think they expect to contend or anything. At 65 years old, this is a long golf course. I don't think they have a chance, but it's such a cool story that Eric Cole is playing with Russ. But 600 PGA Tour starts, going to do it in the team event. I'm very interested to see what these guys shoot. I'm not taking them as the dark horse. I just wanted to give them a shout out.
Huge props, by the way, to Eric Cole for doing that. That's a great story. Get the guy his 600th career start. You're going to get so much good pub out of this too for him. It's a smart move. Good call.
But for my real dark horse, and it's really not that dark, but I really like it. And it was a late substitution, but they're 44-1. Bo Hostler was supposed to play with Wyndham Clark. Wyndham Clark had something come up, so Sam Ryder is filling in. I like that team. I think they can do great things. Give me Bo Hostler, Sam Ryder.
All right, here we go. 70-1 BG. I'm sneaky very high on this team for some reason. Well, there are reasons for it, but give me Austin Eckroat, Chris Gotterup. Eckroat, you and I get the chance to play with him a lot around here. He's about as good of a ball striker, tee to green. He's incredibly solid. Then you add the firepower of a Chris Gotterup, who I think is a monster in waiting. He hasn't quite arrived on the scene yet, but give it time. I would not be surprised at all if this team contends at the end of the week.
I like it, man. It's going to be a fun week. I can't wait to get down there. Hopefully my damn luggage comes so I can go look nice for dinner. Got a little tune-up from Mark Blackburn over at the range in Hilton Head last week, so we'll see if it works. I can't wait.
All fixed up, all tightened up. Did you ask for the Max Homa special?
I
want
to
to swing like that. Yeah, dude, I'll pay you whatever. I just want to swing exactly like Max. And if not, I want my money back.
I'm not paying, first off. We have a rule. I don't pay anymore.
Oh, okay. Free 99 then. Yeah. Free 99, make me look like Max.
All right, man. Well, that was a fun one. We got another fun one coming your way next week. We're going to be joined by a caddy of one of the future stars. Actually, he's not a future star. He is a star already. Ludwig Oberg's caddy, Joe Scovern, will join us on next week's Subpar. Have a great week, everyone.